Good day, everyone. Welcome to yet another video or program, or I don't want to I don't want to call it a class. So welcome to yet another video. Yeah. So in the last video, I forgot to show you guys how to delete. Show everyone how to delete. My bad. So how to delete from a GitHub repository. So I'm going to do that quickly right now. Here's my GitHub. Yeah, so I'm going to create I'm going to create a repository for the sole purpose of deleting it. That's quite funny. I'm going to create a repository for the sole purpose of deleting it. I'm going to call it, say, hello, C# console purpose of deleting it. That's quite funny. All right, so I'm going to create it now. So yeah, this is it. So to delete it, all I need to do is go to settings. Then I'll scroll down, open up. Yeah, I'm going to scroll down. Delete this repository. So if you notice, it says once you delete the repository, there's no going back. So please be certain. So it's saying that once you delete it, you are almost certain to not get it again. And then it's doing a different check again. So make sure that you are certain that you want to delete this. Because before you type all of this, you should be able to know that, okay, I don't want to delete this, right? But then if you finish typing all of this, then you know for certain that you want to delete it. So I understand the consequences, delete this repository, and then it's gone forever. All right, so that is how to delete a repository. So week one, I'm trying to rush through it. I'm sorry if I'm too fast. I'm going to slow down now. So, okay, you've learned about pushing to GitHub, deleting from GitHub. Probably much later, we're going to talk about, working with other people's code on GitHub, right? But our focus now is C#, so we want to talk about that. And the rest of the week one courses, you have built-in types, type conversions, nullable types, anonymous types, and dynamic types, variables, and C#. So for this video, we're going to try touch on these first three so that it's not like bulky. And then probably tomorrow I'll do another video for the rest three. So built-in types. In programs, there are some built-in types, that we can work with. We have bool, we have byte, byte, character, decimal, double, floats, int, uint, mint, and the rest of them. We have string, object, dynamic. We won't touch on most of them, not all of them, most of them. The ones that people use frequently, we won't touch on those ones. And I already created a new project here. As just trying to work on it. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to remove all of this for now. Yep. So this right here you're seeing is called comments. Comments. I'm just going to type in comments. Comments are like things that you write in your code for yourself, or someone else who's looking at your code, but not for the machine. So right now, if I run this program, nothing's going to happen because everything as can see is blurred out just for me to read, not for the machine to go through. And to create a comment, all you need to do is double backslash, and then a comment is made. So built-in types. Yeah, I wrote this instance for object car, no one. Yeah, so built-in types like everyday objects. You have like car. There are different kinds of cars, different kinds of car manufacturers, different kinds of car models. So built-in types, you have int, floats, and all of that, different types of built-in types. The same way there's different type of cars, different type of houses, different type of phones, mobile phones, different type of laptops. Yeah. So now these different types would have models, they would have versions and all of this. Same thing with int. So int is like an object. It's an object that can only carry integers, integers as in numbers. Then you have strings. I'm going to put that in there too. String is like an object that can only carry alphabets. So alphabets in programming languages called strings. I'm going to put an S there. Strings. There's Boolean. Boolean can only take in true or false. There is floats. There's long. There's decimal. There is object, dynamic, a whole lot of them. But I'm going to just touch on a few of them. So I'm going to open up this. So int num1, and to bring this to the console, I'm just going to say console.write line, and passing the num1. So same way, car, we have Toyota as a brand, we have Camry as a model, same thing here. So the object is int, short for integer. We have num1 as the name, and then 1 as the value, right? So the same thing is happening here. So this is the name, this is the type, and this is the value. And then when I write this, it's not going to write num1 to the console. It's going to write 1. So let's even do the other one that we've been working on. Console.write line, and I'm going to pass in num1 as a string. And then I'm going to run this, but let's run. Let's open that. My system is a bit fast. It's been freezing up all day. So when I run this, it's going to not print num1 twice, but it's going to print 1 and num1. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh no, what's happening? Awesome. 1 and num1. And the reason for that is it's passing this as the name containing this. That we're going to be talking much on that on the variable side. Remember in the schedule, we're going to be talking about variables in C#. We're going to be talking about this name holding this value in that point. But right here, we're passing in num1 as a string, and that's why this is happening. But here we're passing it as like a container holding 1, and then that container is of the data type integer. So if I want to pass in num1 as a string, but in a container also, I'm just going to pass it as a string, and I'm going to call it, in this case, I'm going to call it let me just call it alphabets, and the alphabet would be num1. And then I'm going to create another console.write line, and this time I'm going to pass in, I'm going to pass in alphabets. Right, so run this, and let's just hope it opens up again. Come on. I'm really sorry about my system slowing down. It's been acting up all day, so I'm just, I don't know. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's not that difficult, just awesome. So yeah, we have num1 and num1, right? So but we have two containers containing values outside in a data type stored somewhere, and then one passed in directly. So that's like, these are data types. They are already built into the C# language, and then we can use it to pass in values. So we can't pass in strings into integers, and then the quote means these are strings. Any value that is wrapped around quotes are strings. So passing this means I'm trying to store a string in an integer. It's going to throw an error. I'm going to close this and run this to see the error it's going to show. Going to tell us that it cannot store this exactly, cannot implicitly convert type string to int. Says cannot convert this string to this integer. So we do not want to do that. And the same thing with this. If I pass in an integer here, it's going to give us another error. I'm just going to go back to how it was. And this is how it was. All right, so now let's talk about briefly about these built-in types. As you can see, there are like a lot of them. There's bool. Bool can only store true or false. I think I mentioned that here. Float and long. Then float and long. So I'm going to show you something. Let me just open this and open ends. That's floats, ends, and decimal, and double. Yeah, that's fine. So let's just see what's in these places. As you can see, float is used to store integers, but it's going to store integers in the size of 4 bytes. So computers store data in memories, and the memories, the units, bits, bytes, you know, kilobytes, and all of that. So computers store float in a 4-byte memory, right? Now, why is this important to know? It's because when you look at integer, it is stored in a 32 bits memory, which is quite smaller than float and long. While long is stored in a 64-bit memory. So you can see that long can contain values that's like 2 times more than that of, or more than 2 times more than that of integer. You can see int is like from minus 2 million to plus 2 million, but long is going from minus 9 million to plus 9 million. So if you have a value that is so big that cannot be contained in an integer data type, then you want to use a long data type or a floating data type. Then decimal, decimal, you know what decimals are. Look more like this for 5.45. That's a decimal point, and that's what you use decimal for. You don't want to store a decimal in an integer; it's not going to work. Then let's see. Like you can see here, it says decimal b equals 2.1. A double is also, it's going to store in like a decimal also, but you want to use a decimal when you want to use a decimal data type when you want to store values in decimals. What else? All right, I think that's for built-in types. This is how we use them. I already used some of them and then pass them into the console write line. So that's pretty straightforward. You might want to see this documentation, which I'm going to drop in the YouTube comment video while posting it into YouTube. So you might want to check that. Now, can we convert type conversions? Can we convert from one data type to another? Yeah, definitely. We can convert from one data type to another. For some of them, it can happen automatically. You can just pass them into one another and then just convert automatically. But for some others, you want to cast, like do some sort of casting to say, oh, I'm trying to convert you to this. I'm trying to convert you to this. And that's where type casting comes in. I'm going to open up this other one where we talked about converting. Going to talk, says type conversion happens when we assign the value of one data type to another. Let's just show you what I mean. So I'm going to comment out all of this and then come down here. Just remove this. And do type conversions. Scroll up a bit. Type conversion. So we have int I equals 7. I want to convert this to long j equals I. So now I'm storing an integer in a long. Is that going to work? I don't know, but let's see. So I'm going to do console the right line and try printing I to the console, then printing j to the console. Let's see if it's going to just throw up an error. Then close this and open this. Let's see for let's wait for it to run a bit. Awesome. Consider it printed both of them. So that means it's able to convert them. Only that this is an integer and this is a long, right? So I and j. So it's automatically converted. But what happens when we try to convert, say, let me see, give me a second here. Yeah, so let's say we try to convert a double to an integer. What happens? Okay, I'm going to close this. So I'm going to comment this out. So you see how commenting out works. Oh, and then I'm using a shortcut to comment out. I'm just going to highlight what I want to comment out and then press on Control slash. It's going to uncomment and comment. Just a shortcut. Control slash. That's a forward slash. Yeah, that's a forward slash. Yeah. I almost lost my thought there. I think that's a forward slash. All right. Now double. Double is a data type. Double, we're going to use I again and 45.01. And now I want to store double in an int. I'm going to use j equals I. So I is double right now, and then j is int. And I'm going to try print both of them. It's supposed to throw an error. Exactly. Since cannot implicitly convert type double to int. So what can be done to make sure that this can happen? I would do something called casting. So now I'm casting int to it. Just before it, I'm saying convert this double to an integer. And then it's going to pass in 45.1, close this, and then 45. Let's see how that happens. Supposed to print in 45.1 and 45. Come on. Awesome. So now it's converted our double to an integer. At this point, it's a double, but right now it's an integer. And that's what casting does. It just helps convert it from um, a former data type to the present data type. So if you want to learn more on casting and type conversion, I'll also drop this link in the comment section of the video. Then finally, for this video, we're going to be touching on nullable types. Nullable types are, so there's a type called null. I'm going to just type it in here or comment this out. Null means empty, nothing and stuff. So normally types in programming cannot receive the data type as null, cannot receive a value as null. If I try this, let me remove J. If I try this, it's going to throw an error that says cannot accept null as a value. It says cannot convert null to int because it is a non-nullable value type. Can you see? It says int is a non-nullable value type. So how can we now make types accept null as value? There are instances where you might need to do this. basically you probably do not want to do this, but there are instances where you might need to do this. And then for that to happen, you have to now decorate it with a, I think, nullable property. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see. Um, Give me a second for this to load. So we have to decorate it with, nullable, and then you can now accept the value. Let's see. So at this point, nullable is trying to say, oh, accept null as a value for you. So that means do not, that means that type at that moment is empty. Nothing is in it. Let's see what's printed in the console. Can you see that? Nothing. So it's just like an empty space. It's not showing any error. It's accepted it and saying that there's nothing in it. And that's one way to make a type accept null as a value. All you need to do is just decorate it as nullable, and then it accepts it. So this is just a brief, summary of these three topics. Um, just quickly touched on built-in types, type conversions, and nullable types. Then in our next video, which I would probably work on tomorrow, I would talk on anonymous types, dynamic types. Remember, in this point, we saw dynamic as part of C# type, dynamic types. We're going to talk on that in the next video. And then variables in C#. What are variables? How are they used? Why are they there? And all of that. We're going to touch on that probably tomorrow so that we would now be able to move on to week 2 in this program. Thank you very much. If you do have any questions, please let me know in the chats, in the group. Yeah. Thank you very much.